Hello, this is Evangelist Dr. Robert L. McKim Sr. from Carrollton, Ohio. First off, I want to talk about briefly that here a while back, before my father had passed away, before he went back down to Florida, he gave me some things to, sell to my son and for me to keep and hang on to. And then, before he came back to Ohio, he had an air conditioner in his storage unit that he wanted me to, have so I can use it until I can get to Harkness and get another one. It leaked like a sieve on the inside of the air conditioner. Something was wrong. It worked. It put out cold air, but it did not want to drip water on the outside. It wanted to drip water on the inside. So I used it, and then eventually I got rid of it, scrapped it, because there was something wrong with it. But the problem is my dad had a lock, one of those round locks, special, locks are round, on the storage unit. And the key to his lock, he had one on him, which was in Florida, and one here in Ohio. It was on a set of keys that was in his dresser drawer at his girlfriend's house trailer here in Ohio. And there was a daughter living there, and the keys that she supposedly found and then she gave me to try to, get into that storage building. I took pictures of them. Are these two keys right here? Well, those are not lock keys. The one that's broke there, that's a broken car key. And the other one, well, it's a lock key, but it's not for a storage, one of them storage unit locks. So she did not give me the right key. I even had the other daughter that lives in Strasburg stop by with what keys she had so I could try them as well, and none of those worked. Eventually, when my dad was on the phone with me, and he gave the woman that runs the storage unit permission to cut the lock off. So then I went and I bought a brand new lock. That's the lock I bought. And it came with two keys. I still have one key. The other key I gave to my father when he came back to Ohio. I gave it to him so he can go into the storage unit and get things out of it that he wanted to take back to Florida with him. So guess what? Them people down there, his girlfriend's daughters, has my key, my lock key. Which I don't trust them. You see, here's a photograph of what the sheriff's department took when they were in the house investigating. This coffee table right here, and then there's an end table here, there's another end table over here that matches the coffee table. Those belonged to my grandmother, my dad's mother. They should stay in the family because they were property that was before my dad met Pina. They belong to my grandmother. Not Pena's grandmother. Not Anita's. Not Patty's. Not Mary's grandmother. My grandmother. And you're not taking those away and stealing those or throwing them away. Because if you do, you'll be paying me dearly when it's all said and done. And then that table back here by the TV that has a lamp on it, that is called a library table. That was my grandfather's table, my mother's father. That clock right there, let me go into my photos real quick. And I want to show you something. I want to show you some more pictures here. If I can find it. Here's a picture, of course, me and my ex-wife. But right here, what is that? That is the same clock on that TV my parents had years ago, long before Pina and my dad ever met. So here we go, that clock, that same clock right there. See? On that stand. Everything that belonged to my father and my mother should go to me. Should stay with me. Not Pina, not Patty, not Anita, not Mary. God, have mercy on their souls. I have talked to the pastors of the churches that they have attended. The Bethel Worship Center Church of God in Yorksville, Ohio. The pastor there had told me that my father had told him, of course, that he loved me very much. And he did not want Patty and Mary to have anything. So really, the audio tape recording I have of my father saying the same thing, I am taking those as his real last will and testament. So, you know, Attorney ONG of Yorksville, Ohio, I think your partner, which is a Judge Hilliard in Yorksville, Ohio, should go and talk to that pastor and ask that pastor what my father had said to him. And if they have a heart, they will get that will and tear it up that my father had left with them. Tear it up. Learn to realize what my father really wanted was not what he put in that will. And the will that I have, and the real will that my father wanted, to stand. I mean, they're both saying what they're doing isn't right. They are not acting like Christians. They are far from acting like Christians. There's a lot of people that say to me, who think they know the Bible. They say, well, we're supposed to love our neighbor. We're supposed to love our neighbor. What does it mean? What did Jesus really mean when he said, love your neighbor as you love yourself? First off, he said, love God with all your heart, mind, soul. And then he said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. A lawyer challenged Jesus and asked him, what is the greatest commandment? And Jesus told him what the greatest commandment is. The problem is, Jesus said right here, he meant right here, he was quoting Leviticus 19, 9 through 18. That's what it means to love your neighbor as you love yourself. And then, here's some other things. Live generously towards the poor and alien. Do not steal from anyone. Do not be deceptive in dealings with people. Oh, wow, okay. Isn't that what Patty and Mary is doing? They're being deceptive in dealing with me. Do not swear in God's name. Do not oppress, rob, exploit the poor by paying unfair wages. Do not curse the deaf or put a stumbling block before the blind. Do not be partial to the poor or show favor to the great, but judge honestly. See right there. We are to judge honestly. A lot of people say, well, you're not supposed to judge. Only God can judge. No, we can judge too. We can judge too. And the saints will judge the angels. I will judge the angels of God. And I can judge you who are sinning in the church and out of the church. Because God has already judged you who are on the outside of the church. Therefore, I judge you the way God has judged you. Do not commit financial fraud. Oh wow, right there we go. Do not commit financial fraud. They're doing that right now because they changed the their mother's name on the title to the house trailer so that she can keep her Social Security and her waiver, Medicaid here in Ohio, and also can keep her food stamps. Financial fraud. Wow. Not supposed to do that. According to Leviticus. Do not hate your brother. Do not seek revenge or hold a grudge, but extend forgiveness. You know what? If they will wake up and realize that they're doing wrong, I will forgive them. Of course, I know they're doing. I know deep down inside that they're doing wrong. I've already forgiven them, but I will never forget. And you know what? God won't forget either. As long as they are doing what they're doing, God will not forget. Everything that they're doing is written down in the book of remembrance. So they can say they're saved, they can say they believe, they can say whatever they want to say. Their actions show their true colors.
3 medical alarm, 629 Pure Street, apartment 8. Station 3, personnel, you have a medical alarm.
Love one another. They don't love me. That's the thing. I have never felt love from a Patty or Nita, and definitely not from Mary either. All I have felt is hatred from them. And because, for one thing, Patty can't boss me around like she can her mother. That I have proof that they were bossing her around. That's exploitation. And also using her money for their own means. That's exploitation. Well. You know what? They got their day coming. And the rest of you people on Kiwi Farms, what Christian Western Chandler, Mr. Moo, and so on and so on and so on. You got your day coming before God. You will have to answer for everything that you've done and are doing. God have mercy on your souls. God bless you. Have a blessed day.